The movie begins with the story of a mother penguin who visits her child during the rainy season before returning to a place called Cloudland, which is described as a kind of heaven. This story comes from a book that a young boy named Jiho received from his mother before she passed away. A year after her death, Jiho and his father, Woo-jin, are trying to move on with their lives. One morning, while eating breakfast, Jiho asks if the rainy season is coming soon because he believes his mother will return when it rains again. Woo-jin gently tells him they will wait and see. Woo-jin drops Jiho off at school before heading to work at a public swimming pool. After school, Jiho visits a bakery owned by Woo-jin's best friend Hong. Jiho feels sad because his father cannot run in the school's father and son relay race. Hong tries to cheer him up by offering to run with him instead. Later, Woo-jin comes to pick Jiho up and they return home together. That night, Jiho sleeps inside his mother's wardrobe because it still smells like her. On the day of the race, Hong is ready to participate, but Jiho's classmates point out that Hong is not his real father. Just as Jiho is about to return the uniform, Woo-jin suddenly decides to join the race himself. At first, he only plans to jog slowly, but when he sees Jiho fall behind and realizes they are about to lose, he pushes himself to run faster and manages to overtake the other team. However, he collapses from exhaustion just before reaching the finish line. Back home, Jiho comforts his father and tells him he did not embarrass him at all. That night, Woo-jin watches an old video of Jiho and his late wife. The next day, the rainy season finally begins. Excited, Jiho rushes to the train station because he believes his mother will come back. Woo-jin follows him and tries to comfort him when no one appears. As they walk home, they notice a woman sitting alone under a train tunnel. Jiho suddenly shouts that it is his mother. Woo-jin hesitates at first, but when they get closer, they realize it really is Sua, Jiho's mother. Jiho happily runs to her, but Sua seems confused and cannot remember anything. After realizing she is real, Woo-jin suggests they all go home together. At home, he and Jiho decide to pretend that Sua never died, so she will not panic or run away. They tell her that she had been staying at a hospital called Cloudland Hospital because she was sick and had only been discharged the day before. When Sua asks why she was sitting under the tunnel, they quickly make up a story, saying they were playing hide and seek and that a rock accidentally hit her head, causing her memory loss. That night, Jiho sleeps beside his mother, while Woo-jin quietly watches over her, still unable to believe she is truly alive again. The next day, the family begins adjusting to their strange new life together. Sua is still confused and not fully comfortable around Jiho and Woo-jin yet, but both of them are simply happy to have her back. While looking through her belongings, Sua finds her wedding ring. Around the same time, Jiho comes home early from school, pretending that one of the teachers was absent. In reality, he skipped school because he wanted to spend more time with his mother. The two spend the day playing games together, although Jiho keeps losing every time. Later, when Woo-jin comes home from work, they all sit down for dinner. Jiho says he wants to eat Sua's cooking again, but when she tries to make rice cakes, they keep popping out of the pan, and Woo-jin quickly protects her from getting burned. That night, while treating the burns on Woo-jin's arm, Sua asks him how they first started dating. Woo-jin tells her about their high school days. Sua was the smartest student in school, while he was a swimmer on the school team. He had a crush on her for years, but every time he tried to get close to her, he embarrassed himself. Because of that, they barely spoke until graduation day. After high school, Sua moved to Seoul for university. During summer break, Woo-jin tried calling her, but he got nervous and hung up before saying anything. Before he could try again, he was called away for mandatory military service and lost his chance for over 2 years. Eventually, with Hong's encouragement, Woo-jin finally asked Sua to meet him again, even if it was only to return a pen she had lent him. They met awkwardly outside their old school, but Woo-jin finally gathered the courage to ask her out to lunch. They ended up having a wonderful time together before Sua had to return to Seoul. As her bus was leaving, Woo-jin suddenly chased after it and jumped on board just to ask if he could write letters to her. Sua smiled and agreed. After hearing the story, the whole family laughs together at how awkward and sweet it all was. The next day, Sua explores a small shed in the backyard and discovers that it used to be her art workshop, filled with paintings and art supplies. Meanwhile, Woo-jin seems unusually cheerful at work, which catches the attention of one of his coworkers who secretly likes him. Later that day, Hong tries to set Woo-jin up on a blind date, but Woo-jin immediately refuses. Hong jokingly assumes Woo-jin must already be in love with someone else and asks who it is, but Woo-jin avoids answering and walks away, leaving Hong stuck going on the blind date himself. That night, the family spends time together at home when Hong suddenly shows up, drunk while wearing a penguin costume. He pretends to be the mother penguin from Ji-ho's storybook. Woo-jin and Ji-ho quickly try to hide Sua, but Hong eventually sees her and becomes terrified, thinking she is a ghost. Panicking, he runs out of the house while Sua tries to stop him and offer him a drink. After Hong leaves, Sua asks Woo-jin to continue telling their love story. Back then, they went on a movie date where they finally held hands for the first time. Later, they had another date at night, enjoying a picnic on top of a hill while secretly watching a drive-in movie from far away. They only had one pair of binoculars, so they kept taking turns using them until they ended up leaning close together and sharing their first kiss. In the present, after hearing the story, Sua recreates the same moment with Woo-jin. The family continues spending happy days together, playing games, and visiting the river to have fun. One day, while returning home from the river, Woo-jin suddenly collapses in front of the house. Sua takes care of him and asks what illness he has, but instead of answering directly, Woo-jin says it all started after their third date. Back then, Sua gave him a good luck charm before his national swimming exams. Excited by her support, Woo-jin trained harder than ever, but during practice he suddenly fainted in the pool. He later learned that he had a condition affecting his brain and hormones, causing him to collapse whenever he became too stressed or nervous. Even after taking medicine and receiving treatment, his condition only got worse. His dream of becoming a professional swimmer came to an end, and his everyday life became difficult. He eventually fell into depression. After some time, Sua visited him and asked if something was wrong. But instead of telling her the truth, Woo-jin lied and said he no longer liked her and that they should stop seeing each other. For an entire year, he tried to move on but could never forget her. Eventually, he went to Seoul, hoping to see her again. One day, he saw her getting into another man's car. Even though it hurt, he felt relieved because she looked happy. A few months later, Sua suddenly called him and said she was coming home. They met again at the train station, where she hugged him and told him they were meant to be together. Back in the present, Sua is deeply touched after hearing everything. She lies beside Woo-jin in bed as he tells her that not long after they reunited, he proposed to her. Soon after, she quit graduate school and Ji-ho was born. The next day, Ji-ho talks excitedly about an upcoming school concert and Sua says she wants to attend. At the same time, the weather forecast on TV announces that the rainy season will end in 2 weeks. As soon as Woo-jin hears it, he quickly turns the television off. Later, Sua is cleaning her workshop when she discovers her old diary. As she reads it, she finally learns the truth about what happened from her past self's perspective. That night, she also reads the Cloudland storybook and realizes that the mother penguin must return to Cloudland before the rainy season ends. Understanding that she may soon disappear again, Sua starts teaching Ji-ho many things, like cooking and cleaning, so he can take care of himself in the future. While watching an old video of Ji-ho as a baby, Sua breaks down in tears. Woo-jin sees her crying and realizes that she now remembers everything. Desperate to stop her from leaving, Woo-jin and Hong try blocking the train tunnel with piles of sticks and wood. Around the same time, Woo-jin receives a call about Ji-ho. Apparently, Ji-ho had been washing a neighbor's car because one of his friends told him that rain always comes after washing a car. Ji-ho breaks down crying, and Woo-jin hugs him tightly to comfort him. The next day, Sua visits Hong's bakery. Hong is still a little frightened by her sudden return, but they eventually have a warm conversation. Sua asks him for a favor, saying it is something that will take a long time to complete. Meanwhile, Woo-jin discovers that the barrier he built at the tunnel has been destroyed by heavy rain. On her way home, Sua runs into Ji-ho, who has been searching for her. She smiles and tells him she only went out to buy a cake. It turns out that it is Ji-ho's birthday, and the family celebrates together at home. Woo-jin records the celebration, and they even take a family photo together. Later that night, Woo-jin and Sua sit outside talking. Afraid of losing each other again, they share a deep and emotional kiss. Finally, the day of Ji-ho's school concert arrives, but Sua notices that the rain has stopped. She quietly goes to a bus stop and tries calling someone, but nobody answers. At the same time, while Jiho is preparing for his performance, Woo-jin is about to leave for the concert when an accident happens at the swimming pool. Someone gets injured, and Woo-jin rushes to save them instead. Jiho keeps waiting for his parents to arrive, and eventually Suwa appears in the audience. During the concert, the other children talk about their talents, but when it is Jiho's turn, he says that he is good at all the things Suwa taught him because he promised her that he would take care of his father. Everyone in the room is moved to tears, including Suwa. Meanwhile, Woo Jin never makes it to the concert because he collapses at the pool and receives medical treatment. When he wakes up, the concert is already over, and he desperately starts searching for his family. At the same time, Jiho goes home looking for Suwa and finds her walking toward the train tunnel. He stops her and begs her to stay, but Suwa gently tells him that she has to leave now. The two hug tightly as Suwa says goodbye. Jiho tearfully apologizes, believing that her death happened because of him, but Suwa denies it. She tells him that her life would never have been as happy without him, and that both she and Woo-jin were meant to have Jiho in their lives. She says that she will continue watching over him from Cloudland and asks him to take good care of his father. The movie ends with Woo-jin running toward the train tunnel, barely able to keep himself standing because of his condition. As he runs, he remembers the promise he made to Suai that he would stay healthy and take care of Jiho for a long time until the day they could meet again in Cloudland. Woo-jin reaches the tunnel just in time before Suai disappears. The two share one final smile before she leaves. After Suai is gone, Woo-jin and Jiho slowly move forward with their lives. Jiho becomes more mature and starts helping around the house, while Woo-jin begins working as a swimming instructor. One day, Woo-jin finds the key to Suai's workshop and finally reads her diary. Through it, he learns the truth about her feelings and what really happened in the past. It turns out Suai had loved Woo-jin ever since high school, but circumstances always kept pulling them apart. The day Woo-jin went to Seoul and saw her getting into another man's car, she actually saw him too and tried to run after him. But before she could reach him, she got into a serious car accident. Suai stayed in a coma for 8 years. When she finally woke up in the hospital, she later experienced the strange events where she reunited with Woo-jin and Jiho during the rainy season. Even though she learned she would not have much time left, she still chose to spend those precious days with the people she loved most. Back in the present, the movie ends with Woo-jin closing Suai's diary. Hong arrives carrying Jiho's birthday cake, and we learn that Jiho is now 20 years old. The cake and birthday card were the final gifts Suai had asked Hong to deliver in the future. The story leaves a powerful message about love, family, and how unpredictable life can be. It reminds us to cherish the people we love while we still can, because no one knows how much time they have left. Even knowing her fate, Suai still chose to live that path because of her love for Woo-jin and Jiho. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more content like this. Thank you for watching.